Today I'm going to go over creating an aquatic garden, how I planted it, and what all these plants are.
Hey everybody, it's SuzyQue and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's SuzyQue. Hey.
Okay, I'm going to be starting with this tank all the way back here. So this is what I'm starting off with, and what I'm going to be doing is draining out all the water. As you can see, there's a few plants in here. Okay, now that I've drained down most of the tank to get it planted, I'm also adding Eco Complete to the top of this. So I watched Father Fish's video. I wish I could reiterate what he said, but check out his video on substrates. My two hardscapes that I'm going to be using, I think, are both attached to slate. And I'm going to add this. Oh, yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do, since this dropped in so graciously, move this over. These are planted. These are not. As you can see, I have a lot of plants that are not really planted. They've just been sitting in here since I unboxed them. I'm going to put the heater back behind the filter. I wanted this to be on this third of it right here. And I want the water wisteria and these long jungle valve back here. This is not going to stay in here. This is going to be very messy, guys. So these curly Vesuvius crypts are all going to go over in this here, in front of the wisteria, in front of this rock, and it's going to surround it. That's my intent. So what I'm going to do is move them first, because they're already in this huge container, already planted. Now keep in mind, I'm only putting these in slightly because I still have the Eco Complete that's going in. And I kind of want it surrounding this beautiful piece of wood that I got. I'm not too worried about the water spray because that will just grow and grow and grow. So this whole area will be that. Now this substrate I'm using in here, I'm just going to dump it out. Trying to make the least amount of impact as possible. Spread it out a little bit more. Get all these plants. I don't want to lose anything. I don't think I really need that. Love this. Mermaid is going to go right up front here in front of the Vesuvius. It's going to be like my favorite tank with my favorite plants. And I think because these are kind of high light plants, that I have a good shot at it here with the 40-gallon breeder being such a low tank. And it's only 18 inches, and the light's only an inch above. So I kind of have a little bit more substrate in the back than in the front. This is so, don't try this at home, because now it's just, this is what I'm doing. So this is why I can't wait to go to the big fish deal to learn how to aquascape. I'm sure they call this some kind of aquascaping, like, you know, chaos. Do I have a tank I could keep these in so they're nice and stay wet while I do this? I need a tank where the fish aren't going to attack it. Put it over here. You see where I put them? I just dropped them all in here. I'm not too worried about those little babies eating my plants right now. So I don't usually use the Eco Complete black, Eco Complete, but I got it because it's black, and that's what I wanted for this. So I'm going to open it up and put it on that half of the tank that I already have planted the way I believe I want it planted. And I think the best bet would be to put it in a container and then pour it. That's my best bet. And if this is going to change the chemistry of the water, I don't care because there's no fish in it. I am building it and they will come. Make sure I don't bury my plants. It's hard to see when everything's water. I want to make sure I don't bury my heater. Watch these aquascapers. Let me tell you, I get very jealous. Their tank looks pristine even while they're building it. This is what mine usually looks like. It looks like a big mud bucket. And maybe I should have put this in first. Maybe I'll put this in the whole tank and then. Now I got another bag of Eco Earth for the other side, and now I'm thinking I should put it on first and then plant the rest. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drain the water out as much as I can. go out to my car, get the other bag that's in the trunk, and then come on back and see where it stands. Okay, so I got the water drained out. I have my next bag of fill complete. So here's what I'm working with. Where's the other one? Here it is. I'm going to want the valves along the back wall, so I'll start with the valves. So what they did is they just put, I don't know if you can see this now, they've got the sponge wrapped around all the roots that are wrapped around a rock so it sinks to the bottom of the tank along the back wall. So this guy's going to have to get out. I would love the valves all the way in the back here. I want them to be like a divider between these two tanks. And I'm not using the roots to dig, I'm using my finger to dig. Let me show you how I'm doing it. So if you put your hands like this, you're going to destroy all those roots. But if you do this, dig your hole and then submerge it, past the hole, that is what I'm doing. I have tried the tweezers. I have not gotten the art of using tweezers down at all. No matter how many times I turn, twist, put it in and move, I pull the plant out every time I come out. So this goes all up against the side wall. Hopefully that will work as expected. And I'll just push some ecoers back there. Now, back along here, I want the tall plants. At every nodule are roots. So I could lie it down like this, which I might do around here to see how that would grow. You just kind of like, not really bury it, but put it underneath the chula wood. Only the nodules am I burying. Do I think this will work? I don't know. But I am willing to try. And I'll probably go 2 deep, like 2 rows deep. The other plants, I've got that variegated plant, which I kind of wanted up front and personal. I wish I could remember the variegated what. So I think I want these to be the fill-in. All this whole area is all going to be these variegated. The whole area. What do we have left? Anything? I do. We have some hygrofolia. I'm just going to grab it, which I think I used in several other projects. So unfortunately, there's not a whole lot left. There were new roots on it. I could tell they cut the stems without roots, but since it's been in quarantine, it rooted a little bit. So what I'm doing is cutting off that bottom part until I see roots. There we go. I'll just put some over here to see how this goes. I want to get some dwarf sage because I really like how it grows in and grows across the front here. So that's why there's a little bit of a space across the front for my dwarf sage. It's time to put the water back in. Now, am I going to put some anubis? I might put some anubis on here later on, but right now I just want to see how this looks with the water. Okay, it is filled up. I've got the filter. I'm going to get some more floss. Hopefully this polyfill, I know it's like a silhouette of polyfill, but will polish all this water. Get this back in there. So this is the Vesuvius crypts and the water sprite in the back. This piece of wood did have some Java fern on it. It's still on there. And I have my mermaid weed. And then next to that, oh, floating Vesuvius, floating by. And then right next to that is my variegated. I wish I knew what it was, variegated. If you guys know what this is, I just bought it at the store. There's only a couple left. I bought them both because they were gorgeous. In the back, my taller red, not Ludwigia. Gosh, I have such a horrible time with plants. Hygrophila. The valves all along the side wall. Hopefully will grow super tall and fill right in. I've left all this space up here for dwarf sage. Okay, this has only been set up a couple of days, but I'm already in love with this. My aquatic garden, I've just been waiting for my dwarf sage. So, I'm going to be putting the dwarf sage in. I do want to point out that I added some Anubis Nana Petite over there in the hardscape. And a fern, the Java fern. Right now I got some dwarf sage I just got from Boost Plants, and I'm going to open them and get them planted. And since this is an aquatic garden, this is acting as one big quarantine tank right now. There are no fish in this. Look how great these are wrapped. Let me show you. It's got the foam with the lead weight, but as I unroll it, perfect for aquascaping. It's all laid out. I'm going to try the tweezers. I've been really practicing with these tweezers. This is bringing it back old school for me. So after my first cycling of a tank, when I got so frustrated and couldn't wait any longer, I realized, now wait a minute, if I concentrate on building an aquatic garden and taking my time and getting this aquatic garden to look the way I want it to look, and then by the time it's started to get established, I got the lighting right, I got it dialed in for the plants, now it's time for me to introduce my seeded sponge filter and fish. So it just seemed to help me, force me to have a little bit more patience, enjoy the wait. So now I can enjoy the cycling of my tank because I feed this tank. I feed this tank with fish food and there's no fish in it. But just to get that initial tiny bioload started, that was 3 of those clumps. I have this clump left that I'm going to save because it's going to go somewhere else. The parrot's feather I'm going to want to put back here, so I'll move the camera. I kind of want it to fill out in the water column, but also, if it can, grow and like float on the surface as well, like it does in my pond. Since I'm only going to be working with one of these right now, I'm going to put the other 2 over there in my hold tank. So I'm going to go try to get in the back. I'm going to try to get back there where there is nothing. I'm going to hope this works the same way. I'm going to put 3 or 4 back here. And this one I could feel that came right out. I did something wrong. I think I wasn't patient. I'm put this in. Make sure I have it. Right in front of the hose. Push it in. Twist it just a little. Jiggle till it comes out. Okay. I got 3 parrot's feather. Now keep in mind I also put jungle val along the back, the side wall. I'm going to try one over here in this corner. But I'm pretty sure this water spray is going to take off and fill in this whole corner. But just in case it doesn't, I'll put 1 back here. If it's too much, I can always weed it out later. I do like that. I might put 1 more back there. But I'm going to show you the difference between this and just pushing the light back a little bit. Wow. Just pushing the light back a little bit looks awesome. Oh my gosh, there's not even any fish in here, and I could sit here and look at this tank. 80% of these plants are green, but they're all a different shade of green. They all have a different texture. They all grow at a different rate. They all have their own uniqueness. I really like it. Thanks for coming along and checking out how I go back to basics. This is how I go back to basics in cycling a tank. Especially if it's going to be a planted tank, I create my aquatic garden. It gives plenty of time for the water to settle, the cycle to begin, the plants to get established. I don't have to worry about quarantining the plants in this tank because they're going to sit in here for a while without fish. So this becomes a quarantine tank, so to speak. So thanks for coming along. I hope you like my aquatic garden. I can't wait to see how it grows out.
Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Nah, hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. So come along with me. Said I'm SuzyQue.